And joining me in the studio is Angela Diffley, our International Affairs Editor. Angela, Iran is determined to include the war between Israel and Hezbollah and Lebanon with any deal Tehran might make with Washington. Why is that?
Well, the Iranians are clear they want to look after Hezbollah. They did not do much to help Hamas, many Hamas supporters felt. Hezbollah dragged Lebanon into this war. It is backed by Iran. It is a militia which is bigger, stronger than the actual government army in Lebanon. And it chose to fire rockets into Israel in support of Iran's position after the United States and Israel started the war against Iran. And that is key to remember. Now, the US is in this very complicated position now of trying to strike a deal with Iran, and Iran has chosen to make a condition of this deal whatever happens to Hezbollah. In Lebanon, the government have made very clear, the government has said very clearly, Hezbollah, get out of Lebanon, please. And the Israeli ambassador, a spokesman for the Israeli embassy in London, was saying today that in the negotiations between the Lebanese government and Israel taking place in Washington over several weeks now, Hezbollah not included in those talks. He was saying that Hezbollah, this is all about the Lebanese government would like Israel broadly, he didn't use those words, to do the dirty work of clearing out Hezbollah from Lebanon because it knows it cannot. That is absolutely clear that by itself Lebanon cannot. Over years, with the help of the United Nations peacekeeping force, it has not worked. Hezbollah has remained in the south of Lebanon and conducted rocket fire on Israel. So it is clear that militarily they cannot. The Israeli spokesman for the Israeli embassy in London was saying, that is behind these talks. We don't know. But if it were the case, the Lebanese government would not want to be saying so publicly that it is asking Israel to do its dirty work for it to remove Hezbollah. This is a group that, nevertheless, Lebanon is a very divided country. It still has support amongst the Shia community, less perhaps. It's difficult to know from, where we're sitting, but it still has support. The big worry for Lebanon is always that, yet again, Lebanon will descend into civil war. It is a very, very complicated situation.
Indeed. Now, this is a question many analysts are asking this Monday, and which is, does the apparent resumption of hostilities between these two countries signal a complete breakdown in the relationship between Trump and Netanyahu?
Yes, it's noticeable that you say Trump and Netanyahu because they are not necessarily the same thing. There is the relationship between Trump and Netanyahu and the relationship between the US and Israel. The relationship between the US and Israel is in a very bad patch. So many already Democrats, but also Republican voters are questioning what this alliance delivers to the United States. That in itself is something which is bubbling away underneath. And then there is the relationship between these very strong characters. Trump, of course, extremely unpredictable. We know Trump wants to get out of this war, that it has not evolved as he hoped at all. It is highly unpopular in the United States, very, very costly. There is perhaps some suggestion that this anger between the two of them might be performative. We don't know. But the IDF are saying that CENTCOM, the US Central Command, were fully coordinated with the IDF over these strikes on Iran. So there is perhaps some suggestion that the anger between Netanyahu and Trump is performative, or Trump's anger. It is important for him, for his domestic audience, to make very, very clear, I call the shots, as he told the Financial Times. He cannot be seen to be being pushed around by Benjamin Netanyahu. Equally, Netanyahu needs votes in the north of Israel, where they are being regularly targeted, often not very many casualties because of the Iron Dome. But he needs those votes. He cannot be seen to be being the Israeli national security to be in the hands solely of Donald Trump. It's difficult to see how much is the relationship. Deep down strategically, it seems that the US needs Israel. Israel needs the US. It doesn't look like it will fall apart very easily.